is collecting data. We're going to be talking about ways that we can collect data. Also pronounced data. Both are correct. We're going to talk about ways that we can talk about data, what we can learn from data or data. What's up, Colby? Perfect. Evelyn, what's up? I'll probably switch between the two. This is also a word that is singular and plural. So words like fish, right? We could be talking about one fish, or we could be talking about 20 fish. It doesn't change. No, fishes is not a word. Fish. Data or data, could be talking about one piece or many pieces. It's not going to change. So we could be talking about one piece of data or several pieces of data. Circle that word data. What is data? Where have we seen that or heard that? It's obviously something you can collect because it says collecting data. But what is it? Jalen, what's data? All right, so data can be information. Sure. I'm writing, you're writing. What else do we know about data? What else is it? Yeah? Probably not knowledge. Kaden, what are you thinking? Say it one more time. Okay. Colby? Okay. When might I use data? Yeah, a couple of them. When might I use it? Zach?
When you're like using an array.
Okay. How would I be using data if I'm using an array? Keep thinking about it. Heidi, when might I use data?
Like doctors use data when like you go to the doctor's office.
Sure. Doctors use it. Anytime you take some kind of test or you're measured and that information is written down, that is data. Doctors definitely are using it for many different things. Rylan, what else? Who else might be using data? Sure. How? That's all right. Scientists definitely use it. A doctor is a scientist. It's just a specific type of scientist. Bryson, who else might be using it?
Does it have to be who uses it or like what you can like?
Either or. You tell me what you're thinking.
Like a calculator?
A calculator is not going to use data, no. Yeah?
We use it because we use it for our projects. Because for the New Woods project, we had to collect info for all so we can write down.
Oh, I'm hearing words like maybe we researched. So we've used data. We have researched things. Colby? What do you mean by that? Sure, that's not going to be data though. Kaden? Sure. Sure. Heidi?
Computers use data.
Absolutely. Y'all are forgetting a really big one. data are sports using? What kind of data are they using, Zach?
If you like score a goal, or if you just
Yeah. We can keep track of how many points people are scoring. How else might someone in sports use data? Kaden? Say it one more time. Not the rules. Yeah? What do you? Yeah, so we might use it if we're trying to see if a team is good or not. Colby?
Strikes and balls.
Sure, we might look at someone's RBI, right? We might look at some of that data. How many points they've scored in a game, how many assists they've scored in a game, how many runs they've had in a game. We can use that data. Yeah, stats is data. That's what that is. I've asked you to stop playing with that water bottle once now. No, we're not. Put it on your desk. Anytime we're looking at stats, the statistics of players, we're looking at data. That is information about them that someone has collected or researched, and we can use it to say, ooh, we think that team's gonna win, or that person's gonna probably score a goal or a touchdown or whatever.
Maybe so like a pitch count would kind of be.
Sure. Ron? Sure. Yeah. Data can come from many different places. So let's look at this data. It is not complete. Right, I didn't tell you what data I was collecting. What are we noticing? What are we noticing? I'll make it a little bigger. No, I won't. There we go. What are we noticing about this data? Mackenzie, what are you noticing? Okay, I don't see any numbers on this. How does Mackenzie know that they're different numbers? Because I don't see any numbers. What are those things that I'm looking at? Jalen? Those are tally marks. Yeah. The way that you count a tally mark, does anyone remember? You definitely worked with tallies in 1st and 2nd grade. How do I count a tally mark? Evelyn?
If you draw one line, then that's one. Other two, three, 4. But if you get 5, then you do it 5.
Yeah. Evelyn's completely correct. Each tally mark, each line, is worth 1. But we have that group because remember we learned that our brain likes to group things, right? That's why multiplication is so easy for our brains. Put it on my desk. Because we're counting in groups. If I put all those tallies in a big row, it would be really hard for me to count quickly. So we make groups of 5. So where that slash is, that's going to be a group of 5. How many tally marks are in the first box? What is that worth? Kinsey? 10. What about the second box? We shouldn't have to count them all individually. We should count with our 5. And then 2 more. Macklin, what's in our second box? 7. What about our third box? Madison? 14. What about our fourth box? Huxley? 18. What else do we notice? What else do we notice? Rylan, what else are you noticing?
I noticed that the boxes on the left have the 11.
Yeah, I didn't tell you what we were counting. I just told you we were counting something, right? Well, the tally marks are representations of what we counted, but I didn't tell you what the thing is that we're counting. Heidi, what do you notice?
I noticed that we that now could be counted.
We could be counting anything. What do you think this data could be about? There's no right or wrong answer. I didn't tell you what it was about. What do you think it could be about? Zach, what could it be about? Okay. How would that have 4 options? You either play or you don't. So there's 2 options. Are there 4 game modes? Okay, well, I only have 4. So probably. Okay, so favorite game mode could be. What else could this data be about? Kinsey? How many books are on a bookshelf? Bookshelf 1, bookshelf 2, bookshelf 3, sure. Tegan, what else could this data be about? What do you mean by that? It's a lap. Yes. Okay. Evelyn, what else could this data be about? Yeah, could be favorite ice cream flavors, and each tally mark is someone's vote for which is their favorite. Mackenzie, what could this data be about? Oh, how many dogs visited a dog park? Sure. Gio, what could this data be about? Sure. By player, like player 1, player 2. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Colby? What do you... Okay, so you might be asking somebody what is their favorite sports team or favorite sports, like sport in general. Sure. All right, I'm going to tell you what this data is about. What is our data about? Not a trick question. What is our data about? Madison? Nope, it's not about people. What is our data about? Absolutely not. Huxley? Yeah, what books we like to read about. It's our question right here. So they went up to people and said, hey, what kind of books do you like to read about? What did we notice? What did we notice about this data? What do we notice about this data? I should see everyone's hand. This is not a trick question. What do we notice about this data? Bryson, what do you notice? No, it's not about what books we want to read. We already told you what it was about. Playing with that sticker is probably not helping you. Heidi, what do you notice?
I noticed that more people like to read stories about children than sports.
Okay, more people like to read stories about children than sports. She can tell that by looking at the tally marks. What else do you notice about this data? Kaden, what do you notice? Not a lot of people in this data like to read about animals. Macklin, what do you notice? Most people like to read about stories about children. Colby, what do you notice? Okay. Okay. Anything else we notice about this data, Kinsey?
Animals
So more people chose to or like to read about people than animals. Yeah, perfect. When we collect data with choices, we have to be very specific with our choices. So for instance, in this last data set, they did not go up to someone and say, hey, what do you like to read about? Instead, they said, hey, what do you like to read about from these 4 options? People, animals, sports, stories with children. Okay. All right, so when we are collecting data, we want to be very specific. So on your next blank page or under your title, I want you to write. No. When we collect data, that is a comma, because when we collect data is not a sentence. We have to be very specific with our options, aka our choices. When we collect data, we have to be very specific with our options and choices. So we're going to collect some data today. And we need to come up with 4 choices for people to select from. So what could be a topic that would have 4 options for people to choose from? So for instance, I cannot use, are you a 3rd grader? Because my options are yes or no. There's only 2 options. What is something I could ask about that would have 4 options? Madison? Okay, we could have ice cream flavor. And we would give people 4 options. What could be some options that we would give people? Mackenzie? Vanilla. Huxley? Strawberry. Grayson? Cookie dough. Mackenzie? Chocolate. Sure. What? Now, is this every single ice cream flavor ever? No. But we're specific. Out of these 4, maybe what is your favorite? Or out of these 4, what is your least favorite? You could ask that question. What else could be a topic that we could ask about that would have 4 options? Macklin? writing your writing. What could be our 4 options? Madison? Gymnastics. Gymnastics. Oh, thank you. Keegan? Dance. Bryson?
Baseball.
Baseball. Huxley? Volleyball. Oh, thank you. Is this every single sport? No. It is not. However, it's 4 choices. So out of those 4 choices, what is your favorite sport? What else could be a topic? What else could be a topic? Huxley? Maybe your favorite color. Please stop whispering. What else could be a topic? We would give 4 options for favorite colors. Stop. Or it's going to be laps. Zach. What do you mean by that? We have favorite baseball position. I'm writing, you're writing. So if you're talking to your neighbor, that's a problem. Keegan? Favorite basketball player. How many basketball players would you list? No, thank you. That's not funny or cute. Keegan, how many basketball players would you list? 4. Is that all the basketball players in the world? No. Kinsey?
Can you like the color? Like pink?
Nope, we're doing topic. So like if you wanted to ask what someone's favorite color was, that would be your topic. Oops. And then you would list your options. So these are topics. Madison? Favorite subject? Kirsten?
Come back to me. Topic.
Go ahead, Colby. Sure. Kirsten?
Favorite YouTuber?
Sure. Could you do favorite breakfast food? Sure. Are there 4 options at least?
Yes.
Yeah? No, thank you. I didn't ask for an example. Mackenzie?
Favorite month?
Maybe favorite month? What about favorite season? Favorite day of the week? There are lots of options we can choose from. We're going to collect some data. Not right this second, but we're going to get it set up. So what I need you to do is turn to the next blank page and get out a glue stick, please.